What are my like terms for number 1? 4a and negative 3. Which means I need to do what?
4 minus 3.
4 minus 3, what's that give me?
1b.
1b.
Also.
1a.
Plus 6b.
Oops, 6b. Yes. Keep in mind that on the ACT, they will not have that 1. Okay? So it'll just be a plus 6b. Same thing. It's an understood 1. Understood 1. Not invisible 1. Understood 1. Okay? Questions on that one? You sure? No, you're not sure? Or no, there's no question? Okay. What are my like terms for the next one?
Negative 3y plus 5y.
Okay. So what's that give me?
2y.
Very good. Questions? All right. Can I move to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. If you don't have these down on your paper, you should write them down. Okay, next one.
You distribute the negative.
Very good. So it gives me 10a minus 5b.
Negative 6a. Negative 5b.
Very good. Okay. Okay. Which ones are we adding?
4a, negative 10b.
Negative 8, you said?
Say 4a,
Oh, 4a,
negative 10b.
negative 10b. Very good. Are there any questions on that one? Can we see better like that?
I lower it down one more.
One more. Right there? Okay. All right, next one. Do I have to distribute anything here?
No.
Nope, so I can drop the parentheses. What do I do here?
Distribute.
Distribute. I saw a lot of you distributing. Good. But we need to remember that we're also distributing to the other term on the inside. Not just the 6. You have to also distribute to the negative 1. Gentlemen, I will split you up. Now what?
So,
Not solve. Solve implies that there's an equal sign.
just,
Simplify. What are my like terms?
what is that? 33x
Mm-hmm.
10 minus 2.
Minus 2. Questions? Next one. What should the first thing I do be? What should be the first thing I do? Distribute. Everything else comes down. Oops, sorry, didn't know I was off screen. Questions? Am I done?
No.
No. Come on. Focus, focus, focus. So we've got A. 14.
What is that? 4a?
Is it 4A? Yeah, it's 4A. No. Yes, 4A. B. 19. 27? Good job. Questions?
Nope.
We sure? So when we do IXL, everybody should get 100%? If we have not done so already? On combining like terms?
Like Excel, like the computer be like confusing the video and be like messing with
Well, show me where it's confusing you and then I'll help you out. So you get, oh, you know you can zoom it in, right?
I ain't trying to lie. Like give me it on a worksheet like this, I got you, I'll do it.
Okay. Good to know. But you know the ACT is digital, right? So we gotta get over no paper and pencil. All right, next thing. Everybody should know what to do.
Hey, party interruption. That's not again. Jasmine again.
Who?
Jasmine again. She's not.
No. What should I do? Distribute. More than one person should be telling that, but sure. 3x squared plus 6x minus 3. And if you're not understanding where these numbers come from, please stop me. Don't just sit there and say you're going to fail your assessment.
Sorry, Miss Santana.
That's okay.
Naomi Reyes.
Nah, it's not cool.
Early too.
Oh, shit.
Language.
I didn't know.
Okay. Combine like terms. We have 5x squared plus 6x minus 5. Why am I not combining the 5x squared and 6x? Because of the square. Even though they have x's, doesn't mean that they're like terms. Okay? Good? Alright, next one. All you do is distribute. That gives me 2a to the 4th minus 1. Some of you divided the 4 by 2. Only divide the coefficients. Questions? Okay. Osvaldo? Thank you. Okay, we're going to take some notes. We're going to talk about rates and proportions. Rates and proportions. Can you cut the light? Just the middle one. Okay, thanks. So right now, you should be filling out your guided notes along with me. Yeah. Okay. A rate is a ratio. Ratio is basically a fraction. Ratio is basically a fraction. That's all it is. Rate, ratio, and proportions are fractions. They're a fancy word for fractions. That's it. Okay? So when you see something that says the rate on the ACT, you should automatically think of fractions. Okay? Where each term has a different unit. Can anybody give me a type of rate, an example? Miles per hour. What about in gas? What do you say?
Gas mileage per gallon or some shit like that.
Language.
Well, you know what I mean, though. Exactly. You know
Miles per gallon.
Hey. My bad.
What about when you're buying gas?
Cost per gallon?
Cost per gallon? Meters per second? Can you see that color? Any other examples? Kilometers per second? All of these are, excuse me, all of these are rates. You're gonna have one thing in comparison to another, okay? But you're probably asking or thinking, maybe not, but you should be, how does this relate to a fraction? How does this relate to a fraction? Does anybody know? No? That's okay. That's why it's here to teach you. This word per, or for each, or for every, this tells me that this is a fraction. The units on the left are the numerator units, and the units on the right are the denominator units. So if I were to write this as a fraction, it would be miles per hour. The left is the numerator. We all know the numerator is the top, right?
Yeah.
Denominator is the bottom. So all of these on the left will be in numerator. All of these on the right would be in the denominator. So when you see this in a word problem, all of these are going to be word problems on the ACT. Okay, and I know some of you saw them on the skills check, right? Some of these are on the skills check? No, yes?
Yeah.
What you want to do is you want to automatically set up a fraction so we know how to work with it. Okay? Sorry, give me a second. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Okay. This should not be in there, I'm sorry. I don't know why that came up. I thought I deleted that. We have some notes for rates. So write this underneath. You want to pay attention. Is that in the back? No. Pay attention. To the units given. Versus what they're asking. You need to pay attention to that, okay? Especially on the ACT, especially on these skills checks, okay? When you're going over these problems, you need to look. For example, they might say a rate as, I don't know, let's say miles per hour, right? They might give you this unit. They might give you this rate. But what they want is feet per second. So you're going to have to make sure you know how to convert from miles to feet, and they should give you the conversion factor. There's no way they're going to make you remember that conversion factor. And how to convert from hours to second, okay? So you need to pay attention to the rates they give you and what they're asking you for, okay? That good? I know some of you were looking over people's heads.
Nah, that's good.
Can I flip over? No? Okay, let me know when ready. I'll give this to you in a minute, okay? Gentlemen, you ready? Can I flip over? No? Oh. Alright. I don't know why this printed weird, sorry. Alright, proportions. Proportions are another type of rate, okay? So with proportions, we're talking about two parts two parts that are equal. They're proportional. They have the same, yeah, the clock does not work. That's why there's a clock up here. So let's just pay attention to the notes. Thank you. Two parts that are equal. They're proportional. Meaning like if I have $10 an hour, if I work 2 hours, that's $20 for 2 hours. If I work 100 hours, it's $1,000 per 100 hours. Okay, it's proportional. You're gonna end up getting the same value eventually because it'll reduce. Okay, that's what it means. It's gonna reduce the fraction. So that means that the two ratios will eventually be equal, but have different values in the numerator and denominator. And some of you are like, but how can they be the same but different? Is 2/4 1/2? Yeah. So even though I have a different numerator and denominator, 2/4 is equal to 1/2. Okay? They're proportional. The ratios are equal. Proportional problems in the ACT are always going to be word problems. Always. Okay? Always, unfortunately, will always be word problems. And there'll be conversions also. Things can be in proportion with respect to size or shape. This includes triangles. This includes lengths. This can also include scale drawings. There are going to be a bunch of those questions also. It'll say the ratio for this scale is this. What is its area? Or something like that. Okay? So you have to make sure that you know the units and how to set it up. Just, yeah, sharpen or switch it out. We know how to solve for proportions, right? I noticed that we're good at solving for proportions. What we have trouble in is setting up the proportions. Okay? So what you want to do is, am I going too fast? Okay. What you want to do is you want to set up a fraction on each side, okay? You want to set up a fraction on each side of the equal sign. You want to make sure that the units in the numerator match. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. And then the units in the denominator match. So let's do like in just a word example. So if I had miles per hour, if I created another fraction, you want to also have the miles in the numerator and the hours in the denominator, okay? I don't know who's next. Who's next?
Well, let me just write this down.
Okay, that's fine. You have to make sure the numerator and denominator match units, okay? That is the key in solving proportions, all right? That's the key. Before I do the example, I want to take a gauge. We have an exit ticket. It'll take about 15 or 20 minutes. Do we want to practice on IXL for proportions first before we take the exit ticket? Yeah? No? Yes? Most of us are saying yes. Okay? If you want to take the exit ticket right away, you think you're good, you can do that. But if you want to practice, you can practice, okay? That sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's look at this example. We have two lamps that are proportional to one another, meaning that they may be different sizes, but the ratio is the same. The smaller lamp. So I like to do this. I like to make a little, I don't know. I just like to write words for math, so it's easier for me to set up. The smaller lamp is 4 by 9. So I know that this is width. And I know this is tall. Why does it say tall? It should say height. So you see on the side, I'm writing the ratio between the two. Does anybody? I'll zoom in. So the smaller lamp is 4, 9. Do you see what I did? We have the width and the height. The width and the height. Then it says the taller lamp, so the taller one, is 16 inches tall. A lot of students will just put the 16 here. But where does that 16 go? In the bottom. Because that is where it's saying. It's saying tall. So tall goes at the bottom, so 16 goes there. Do I know the width? No. So what should I do? An X. Now, how do we solve this? Cross multiply. So I'll cross multiply, and I get 9x is equal to 64. And then I divide by 9. X is equal to, I don't know what that is. 7.11. Oh, it looks like we solved this already. Am I doing stuff that's too easy for you guys?
Yeah.
For real?
No.
You just guessed. No, you do realize. Hold on, let me stop this recording.